Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. We are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the daily time frame, way back in time at the beginning of Bitcoin history. I have the Gaussian channel turned on. Hey, where'd my other channels go? There they are. I have the Gaussian channel turned on and a group of channels here at the top. And this white one in particular is highlighted, and that white one is the most important channel in Bitcoin history. And you can see that in this group of channels, the center line of the bottom channel is where we have these contact points at the very first Bitcoin high in 2011. That's where that channel, well, it's not anchored on there. That just happened to be where it ended up. You can see as well that the daily candles closed and opened here. And this one wicked up to the top or the bottom of that channel. Anyway, just wanted to point that out while we're here. It's not significant to what we're going to discuss now. But I just want to look at Bitcoin's interaction with the Gaussian channel and also differentiate between the what occurs in a bull market and a bear market. See, a bear market, we're clearly way outside the bottom of the Gaussian channel. And in a bull market, we do dip out the bottom briefly and even create little red areas. You can see here we dipped out a little bit. Now, we have done that a little bit more in the beginning. No, so that one's only about 12%. But you've seen more significant drawdowns outside that channel in the past. Then see, that one's like 35%. You get some crazy ones in the very beginning because Bitcoin was a lot more volatile. We're talking about the early days, and Bitcoin was just a few $100s. Anyway, and then as we're scrolling through, also note the interaction with the set of pink parallel channels here. Bear market, big dips outside. And bull market, we do have little dips as we go up. That was a pretty significant one in 2016. And I wonder what kind of FUD caused that. It's about a 20%. Even as big as and unusual as that one was 20%. And other than, I just clicked on it. Other than that 20% wick, we only fell out maybe 7%. So we do come into the Gaussian channel multiple times as we rally up in the bull market and even shoot out the bottom a little bit. And sometimes it does, in fact, turn red. Bear market's a little bit different. Here we didn't even. That wasn't quite the bull market. It was a pre-bull market bull rally, and it was a little bit crazy. And it's probably why we came back down here, and then had the COVID crash. Excuse me. And here we are today. No, well, let's look at the Gaussian channel here first. Now I have a bunch of horizontal lines here. Those are alerts, and I apologize. I can't turn those off. I should have put them on a different chart, but I didn't. And so then here we are. Let's turn off these pink parallel channels first of all. Just look at the Gaussian channel. Now we've fallen significantly out of the Gaussian channel, and let's measure that. The 7%. That's kind of normal. Now, could we fall out more? Yeah. But again, that would be like a significant event like that one previously, like perhaps Mt. Gox selling all their coins. 20%, where would that take us? Yeah, that might take us around 50,000. Now, let's address the Mt. Gox thing. That was planted FUD meant to affect the markets because of the way the press release was released. Um, Clearly, Mt. Gox is not going to dump all 140,000 tokens on the market next week. They have until October to distribute their Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash assets and whatever else they got. Um, and in the release, it does say that they are working with regulators, blah, 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 to and follow regulations and distributing them, but it's not really. They don't really make it clear that their plan of um, distribution, their schedule of distribution, and that's why it is FUD, and it was planned to dump the market so that others can uh, suck up your tokens. There's no way in hell they're going to dump all 140,000 Bitcoin next week. They'll be released over the course of the next 3 months. Now, let's see, we got July, we got August, September, and October. They have till October 31st. That's 4 months, 120 days. It's 1,000 tokens a day, a little over 1,000 tokens a day. And that's why they're going to release them now, so that they now. What do we have? An average of, well, right now, 12,000. So that is significant. 12,000 volume, if in fact the volume here is accurate, because I do have evidence that the trading view volumes kind of for the Bitcoin index, they change it in real time. It says one thing, and then the next day or so they adjust it significantly. So I got questions about the volume on the index here. So anyway, yeah, 1,000 tokens. That's currently our volume is 12,000, but I mean back here the volume was 28,000. So the volume's actually really really low because we've been very boring. But historically back here, you can see in the blue 28,000. So let's say about 5% of the daily supply. That is a significant amount. If it were all dumped, if all that was um, just selling pressure on the market. Um, and you know what? I don't know what the ETF absorption is. I don't have those numbers, and I wish I did. But keep that in mind, and maybe when you're watching James from Invest Answers or something like that, he'll have those numbers, and you can compare them to that 1,000 per day that will be released, or actually maybe 1,200 per day. That would be a tenth of Bitcoin volume right now as it currently stands. But even if we go back a few weeks, it would be more like a fifth. So between 5 and 10% of Bitcoin daily volume. And again, that is if they decide just to dump everything they have right off the bat. Okay, so that is that. Now, so we have fallen significantly outside the Gaussian channel. What's really, really good is we are having a nice bounce here. We're back up to 61.36 after falling all the way down to about 58 and a half, let's say. Then note we did the same thing back here. So what we want to see is that we get back up into this Gaussian channel for one, and that is currently around $63,000 and a little bit above, as well as we have the 21-week moving average. We want to get back above that pretty quickly here this week. 21-week moving average is something we tend to stay above in bull markets, in bull rallies. Now I know somewhere we have dipped through it a little bit. Let's see, here we came right down to it. There was somewhere that we did dip through it a bit. Well, we did right here in the beginning, just a little bit there. Did we do it here? I don't think we really did. But regardless, I mean, that's not a line in the sand here. See, we dipped through it there a little bit. But it's just something we want to get back above if we do want to be seeing this rally continue onwards and upwards. So 63, a little bit above 63 is that number we got to get above this week. Get back into the Gaussian channel, get up through it, and as well as that 21-week moving average. And we are currently headed in the right direction. All right, so let's turn the Gaussian channel off. And I have these dotted lines here that I've drawn that represent the Gaussian channel. And when I turn that off, you will see those. So that's our Gaussian channel right there. Also, this white channel here is the most important channel in Bitcoin history, and it's the channel from which all Bitcoin bull rallies have started. Here, you can see after consolidation on top of the channel for a while, boom. Hey, where did my pink parallel channels go? Oh, I guess I took it all away. And back here, we even came right down to the channel and then bounced up. And even back here, the channel acted as resistance, and we consolidated in a little bit here, and then boom. So I am looking for some sort of interaction with this channel before starting our bull rally, and we had been having it here and here, and we've deviated from that. So we also need to get back into that channel. That is also at the top of the daily Gaussian channel right now. Just above it. But this will, if we do come up here, this will turn up. Now, I have the green horizontal line here. And so that's our resistance at around 72,000. That's at 71,750 is where I have that line drawn. Let's turn this off for now. And Why do we have that on? I don't know why some of these things are on here. Let's turn that off for now. And sorry, I can't get rid of all those alerts there. Now, what I want to do is turn on my blue. Where are they? Our blue channels right here. Now, these are the channels we've been traveling in since September of 2022, prior even to the FTX collapse, which was right there. Now, I have added this channel. This was the original set of channels that I did draw, and we have currently fallen outside of that, but we also did that in the past, here and here. This was the August crash of last year. Prior to that, we had been holding, this was the trend line that everybody was looking at last year that we had been holding until August, and people couldn't understand what they thought this was the end of the world, that we were going down. And this is where I said, no, 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 no. We are about to start a major bull rally. I was saying that when everybody else was saying we were going down. And it's exactly what we said. And I said, this is going to be a major bull rally. It's going to last for many, many months into 2024. It's exactly what we got. And things in the charts are telling me that, even when nobody else was paying attention. And it's the same here. Not the same. It's similar. And we're doing the similar thing. We're falling out the bottom of that channel. And that's why I did add this here. Now it doesn't. Actually, this price action. Let me turn on the pink parallel channels and see if the. See, they capture this price action a little bit better. It's a different group of channels that we're working with here. So you can see how that price action is interacted with the pink parallel channels here. Pretty clearly as stepping stones as we stepped up through these groups here. And even currently, you can't see it. But we do interact. We interact with multiple channels, which is what I'm about to show you. So there's the pink parallel channel. Let's turn that off for a second. We have the blue channel group here. And clearly we interact with that. I mean, we followed right along the top and bottoms, the intersection of these two channels here, traveled right in here clearly, oscillating upwards and downwards, and then here fell down to the center line of this one. And traveled here. I mean, you can see the interaction with these channels. And what we did do is come down to the center line here. Now it looks like we wicked through it, but when I look on a smaller term time frame, you can see exactly what happened. I guess I'll leave the Gaussian channel on for now. And we got the blue channel group on. Let's turn on the pink channels. So you can't really see how this center line and the bottom of this channel, or the intersection of these two pink channels, have really. You're looking here on the daily, you'd say, well, it kind of went near there, just like people talk about the fibs. Fibs are a joke, people, okay? Because lines don't come, sometimes they come down to fibs. The people, like when it comes anywhere near a fib, they're like, oh, yeah, it's going down to the 618, the 32, whatever. It's like when people use fibs, what they're really saying is it's gone down 50%, or it's gone down 25%, or it's gone down 75%. But it doesn't sound really smart and super like, oh, like when you use percentages, it sounds better like, oh, it's going down to the 618, or it's going down to the zero point 0.5 or the 326 or whatever the numbers are. And when they do that, they don't even come down exactly a lot of the times. It's just, they're like, if it comes down anywhere near it, they're it's like, oh, yeah, that's what it's doing. Kind of like this. But when I change it to a 4 hour, you can see better how we did wick through. You know what? Let's even go to a 1 hour maybe. When we go to a 1 hour, you can see how we did wick through briefly, but it was the center line of this blue channel that acted as support. Pretty much. I mean, 59.1, and that's at 59.2. So it's $100. It's off by $100, and that just could be artist error. Um, so these white lines are alerts that I've set, so they aren't really interacting with the price. But you can see also the pink parallel channel. I mean, we dumped right down to it right here, in here. In here, it acted as resistance and support, and support here currently. So this is good. Came down here, came up here. It's acting as support, and we're heading upwards, trying to head upwards, and we want to get back up here to 63, back up into the Gaussian channel, and it looks like we're headed in the right direction. I left this here because this is where I had estimated that we would come down to in our, as we were heading down here over the past week or so. And we just barely got to that circle. I was expecting us to come to the bottom of the channel here, and then we had this Mount Gox bullshit, um, which is more reason why I think that we will come back up here, reclaim this, and then work our way. If we do reclaim this, no, I'm not. And there are other possibilities. I will say that Bitcoin is in a bit of limbo here, and I will point the downward scenario as well. And it's always like that with the charts. There's an upwards option and a downwards option, and a lot of times we don't know, but need to be ready for both. I do believe there's a good chance we rally upwards and then see an explosion up to 86,000. It's kind of hard to feel that right now with everything that's with the price action really that's going on. And really it's the price action that's kind of, getting people down in the dumps. But there's just a lot of downward pressure from the people playing games with the market. And anyway, I won't get all into that. But believe me, this is all getting accumulated right now. And the people that are accumulating here are holding on. They're holding on for the long haul. So let's get off the hourly for now. Well, let's turn it to a 4 hour. I do want to introduce some other channels, and I'm going to pause for a second as I clear. All right, so I've zoomed out to a monthly candle view, and here it doesn't look so bad here. as we consolidated sideways for a while here from April all the way till September of 2023 within this range, and only been consolidating within this range for a few months now, and probably going to explode here in July. So this doesn't look bad at all. Now you'll see somebody else talking about a 2 month. First of all, I don't like monthly candles and whatever higher time frame candles. It's really kind of because what do you use them for? How would you try to you know make short term decisions based on these monthly candles that are or longer term candles that are trying that are won't confirm anything until it's way past decision time. Um, but anyway, and other than that, we work with hours, 4 hours, and daily time frames, weekly time frames. All those are very what's the word? Um, I'm bad with my words, but they all 4 hours. There's 6 4 hours in a 24 hour. There's 4 1 hours in a 4 hour chart. It's always the same, um, and 6 4 hours in a 24 hour, and in a daily candle, and 7 daily candles in a weekly candle, and 52 weekly candles in a yearly candle, and so on and so forth. They're all the same, but months just throw a bunch of nonsense. It's not. It's throwing they're random. Months are random choices of dates. They don't relate to 4 weeks. A month isn't 4 weeks, it's 4.5 weeks. It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, you'll see someone talking about like the 2 month candle. It's very now these candles aren't that bad. I got a green one, a red one, a green one, a red one. They're all like this, so we should have a green one next. um, and it wouldn't be even that bad if Bitcoin did close right here, but it hopefully it's not. Hopefully it'll close a little bit higher, and that'll even be better. It'll be an indecision candle or whatever, and it'd be better if it closed near the top, which I think it can. I think it can form some sort of a long-legged doji candle thing here, um, which would show that at least, although we fell throughout the month, we did get bought back up, and I think we can do that this week. Um, let's go to a bi-monthly because there's a gravestone doji that somebody's talking about, and actually, there's a couple of them here forming. Let's turn the Gaussian channel off because it's kind of in the way there. So that's what we got going on now, and this closes in 5 days. So yeah, actually, if we close a bit higher here, not looking so bad here on the bi-monthly chart, but I don't think the bi-monthly chart is representative of what's going on. If you switch to a rather than look at months, look at a 4 week chart. 4 week chart looks bad right now, but again, I believe that we will close up around 65, 66, something like that. Somewhere near the, or maybe even 67. See, where do we start the month? This shows 65, 66 and a half. I thought it was around 67 ish, whatever. Somewhere in that range. And I think that's what we will do. And you'll see that it's just several months of sideways and indecision here. Um, and that's what the 4 weekly shows. And that's consolidation and accumulation before the next move upwards. And if you look at the 8 week chart, which would be similar to a 2 month chart, there's no gravestone doji. This is very bullish. We have an upward trend, a little consolidation here. And if this does, well, this one doesn't close on the 8-week chart. We're just halfway into this, or not, I mean, a quarter of the way into this candle. It's still, this candle is going to close in a month and a half, and it's more than likely going to be way up here somewhere. So just depends on how you look at these candles here. In monthly charts, I don't like monthly charts. I'd much rather, if I did want to look at this high of a time frame, that I'd look at the 4-week chart or the 8-week chart if you want to do that. So anyway, let's get back to a very tiny chart, like a 4-hour chart. And here we are, 61.2. Got a half hour left in this 4-hour candle, and that's nice and green there. Now I have these other channels I'm going to turn on. We have this channel. We've been traveling down in here. You can clearly see. Now, I'm going to show you several channels, and they all take into account let's see if we turn on an hourly, if this looks a little bit different. They all take into account different price action. Yeah, hourly's a little bit better here. But anyway, you can see the points of contact that I chose here, 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 and here, and then other ones along the way as best I could. And they don't all hit exactly, but a lot of them do. You get a lot of contact points, and then others come pretty close. And then you do have a lot of interaction on the center line here. So I'd like to see us if we can get up here and reclaim this channel around 62.1 and hold that as support. That would be a good indicator that we are at least then be traveling upwards to the top of the channel. And that would get us up to the $63,000, $64,000 range. So there's that channel. There's also this channel. This is a good one. The blue one's a good one. There's a good channel and a bad channel. Blue one keeps us going more sideways, less downwards. And how did I choose this? I chose this way back here, mostly for the interaction along the center line, I guess. And this contact point here, as well as some contact points here on the hourly. And this point in particular here on the top, this one here on the top. Really, those 2 points is what started this. And then I pulled it down to get as much of the price action as on the center line as possible. And then it did get this contact point, these contact points here. And then you could see that after I guess I extended it later, and we did come up here and then hold it as support. Hold the top as support here. We tried to hold the top as support and we couldn't get back above this channel and fell down into it. And then did come down to the center line here and interacted with the top portion of the channel. And then I wanted to say FTX, but the Mt. Gox FUD got us down below it there. Now I'm going to turn these off and on because now this is the bad channel, because this bad channel is going to hell. And it does not have this as a contact point, but it does have this one as a contact point. This is a contact point. These two as contact points here. And as well as this is where we came up to it here. And we did hold it as support here, which is good. I was liking that we were holding this as support and not falling into this channel. We didn't even touch it here when we came down. All was looking good for a bounce right here until we got this Mount Gox FUD. Even over the weekend, we were traveling sideways here, ready to bounce here on Monday, and then Mount Gox FUD tank the market, which is one reason why I do believe we will recover from this. Everybody knew Mount Gox is coming. We've known about it for years and years and years, and most recently, the past year, it's been there's been plenty of articles released that this was coming in October. The deadline was coming in October, and that these funds would be getting distributed. So it's already all priced in. And but this was a FUD event release. It was a planned whatever. Um, and it caused us to drop into this channel, which is not good. We don't want to be in this channel because if we stay traveling in this channel, well, we would come down here. 52 is an important area. And if we stayed in this channel, actually, we wouldn't get down to 52 until, well, around this CPI data release. So that's one thing to think about. So, what's really important right here and now was that we are in this channel and we need to get out of it. And we are almost at that point where we will be challenging the top of this channel. And I do expect some resistance right here. So let's hurry up and get up here today. We got to get up to 61.8-ish. Now I'm going to turn on the other channels. There's the blue channel. So really we're having a battle between the green and the blue channel. And I had wanted to make a video about this earlier. I just really haven't had time to make videos. I got so much going on in my life. But so you can even see here that we held the blue channel, the center line of the blue channel right there before the Mount Gox FUD. On the 1 hour chart, you can see how we were holding the center line right here with the candle closes, with wicks through and candle closes right on there. When you have these wicks through like that, that's where they're buying. That's where they're buying up all your tokens right there. So we did have that, and then we came up here over the weekend, and then that. You can see we tried to hold the center line a little bit here and then fell through it. Tried to stay out of the green channel right there. We were battling to stay out of it, and I thought we would bounce. What time is this? Monday? Oh, yeah, Monday pre-market. Yeah, that's when we really did just dump down a whole bunch. So we should come back up here, hold that as support, and well, so you can clearly see right now. This is what I did want to show you, and I will turn on our pink parallel channels now, and our blue channel group. Well, let's just do the pink parallel channels here, because on the hourly you can see what's going on. We came right down to the top of this pink parallel channel, bounced off of it, interacted. Let's go to a 5-minute maybe. It's easier to see the interaction with the channels on the 5 minute. And let's get rid of these guys too. Let's really open this up. You can see we came down to the top of the pink parallel channel here, bounced off of it, and then attempted to hold the blue channel as support many times. Bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, then fell through it where? To the top of the pink parallel channel. Attempted to bounce, got rejected by the blue channel here, and then fell down. That's just an alert. This is the center line of the green bad channel. Tried to hold it as support here on 2 5-minute candles, and then fell through it for our just final little capitulation there. And then reclaim the center line of the green channel. That's just an alert line. You can see that we got rejected from the top of the pink parallel channel here. It acted as resistance, and then we finally broke through it. You can see on the 5-minute how, you don't see this interaction really on the larger time frame charts, but this acted as resistance on the 5-minute, and then we broke through. And then you can see clearly the interaction with the blue and the green here, acting as resistance and support. They held us here, and that's really, really neat as we come up here to see this. And this is what I was expecting to see on the good side. And this doesn't look like one of those things where we come up and cascade down, where we have those big, long, loopy kind of things. This looks good. Like we're coming up and we're trying to get back up, and we're just coming up through here, coming down, retesting our support, and coming back through down here. I imagine even us coming down and testing this market open. It's right here. It's coming up pretty soon. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. This is pretty close to an intersection of these lines. I would even imagine that we would come down here on market open and test this for support before bouncing upwards. And then let's get off the 5-minute because we got to zoom out here. Let's get off the 5-minute. We got those two channels. Now, those are the two channels I'm looking at, really. And I haven't really looked at this one. But I imagine price action to interact with all of them here. We want to get back out of this green channel. That's major. If we stay in this green channel, that's not good. If we see a rejection here at 61.8, and then we come back down here, it's not the end of the world as long as we hold this blue line as support or this pink line as support. But I really want to see us get out of this area and move onwards and upwards back up to 63. Now 63 would then take us to the center line of this channel. We've had a lot of interaction along the center line of this channel. So we may get hung up a little bit there. Let me see if I can manage these alerts. Can I just hide these? Oh, Uh, hmm. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't want to remove all. I don't want to stop them. That really didn't do anything. Hmm. All right. Well, I guess I can't really do anything with these alerts. Well, damn. Damn them. Bum, 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 bum. So anyway, we got these channels here. Uh, unless you have these channels on your chart, it's going to be you're not going to be able to see the if we are in fact breaking through them. But I will. Oh boy. So that if we do want to get out of that green one there. Let's turn him off. Pretend he's gone. And then that leaves these guys. This one is also around $62,000. I'm not. Well, yeah, I wonder if that'll act as resistance. So we should see some resistance around $62 to 62,000, 61.8, 62,000, and yeah, might get some resistance in there. If you see that, that's what's going on. If you see us bouncing around in here, that's what's going on. We're just going through these lines. We're going through these channels. Um, and the top of the blue channel is up at 64.7. So that would get us back. Where's Friday at? Friday and a day. If we get back up to the top of the blue channel, that would put us up at the above the $63,000 region over the weekend. Um, I'm expecting that that's where we get. If we do get super bullish here, let's look at the 5 day chart. 5 day ends. Got this extreme low volatility. It hasn't expanded yet on the 5 day chart. Um, and then we on the RSI thingamajigger here, the stochastic RSI, we're going for a double dip down to the bottom here on the 5 day and the weekly and looking to turn up. Now, there's going to be an explosive move, and I believe it's going to be upwards. It's imminent. Let's look at the weekly. See, we're going for a double dip here on the weekly RSI. And, but it will turn upwards here. Let's look at the RSI. So I see the RSI traveling in a channel here. And what we've done, we've maintained this channel, but it's really up to this week because you can see last week we closed right on the bottom of this channel. So I do expect us, if we want to maintain this bullish, our bullish scenario, our outlook, that we come upwards here over the course of the next week. And maybe if we do come up to the $64,000 region, that is all it'll take to move this upwards here, because this isn't closed yet. This could close anywhere. It could close way down here. Could close all the way up here somewhere. Who knows? But hopefully it'll close back up inside this purple channel. And if we want to look at the daily RSI, oops, yeah, no, that's right. That's what I wanted to do. The daily RSI would be over here. And I believe we have to go to a daily chart. There we go. Now we have a set of fuchsia colored parallel channels for the daily here. Oops, that made it worse. Okay, let's just make them more like that. See, this is funny because I started off with the first two channels here, and we were trying to hold that, and we didn't on the daily. We've fallen for a nice reset on the RSI, but we're down at the bottom, and we are going to continue back upwards. But perhaps then we continue upwards in, I'm guessing, because you got 2, you got 4, oh, and you got these 2. Well, I think this is an anomaly. I think maybe we come back. I don't know. We'll see what happens on the daily here. But I imagine we would come back up like we did here. Maybe a little steeper. I don't know. Who knows? But time to come up on the daily definitely is, because we're down. We're very oversold. We're actually below the oversold, the 20%, 30% line, I guess it is here. And actually, we haven't been down there since that little collapse in August. And you can see what we did then. Let's clone that. I don't know. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. Yeah, I think we should travel upwards here. Where does that take us? Yeah, this is right in line with what's going on. We should get up here in the tippy tops in October. I mean, that's what we've all been looking at. And maybe for something like this. So I believe we should continue our rally onwards and upwards. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all. No, see, it doesn't make sense at all that we would just continue downwards. And what would this look like? It doesn't even, it's nonsensical. We're ready to move upwards and continue on our bull market rally, our parabolic rally, actually. And maybe chop along here for a while into October and November before seeing another pullback. Anyway, let's get back to. Well, this is getting to be very long, as it often does when I get on the computer and start talking and looking at all this stuff. But I always suggest you put my videos at least on 1.5 speed and maybe up to 2. even. They should have faster speeds for people like me, if there are any other people like me. Now, Bitcoin futures is trading just a little bit, maybe about a $40 premium to spot, which is good. And yeah, because it's actually been equal to or less than even than spot for a long time, and it's usually more bullish. Well, see, now it's back about even or a little bit less. So it's ranging around below and above the price of spot. It's very erratic. I mean, they're volatile, I guess I should say. They uh, they flip flop a lot here. Um, so let's get back to this one. Total 3 is coming up, back up to 6. So see, none of this even, it doesn't really look bad. We're just at the bottom of our consolidations. And I have these, I even had this, I had this here as a target that I made back here somewhere. Like we're probably going to, get rejected off of this, come back down to the bottom of the channel here. And we hit it pretty much exactly, almost. So, and like um, in Bitcoin, I do have a couple different channels here. Well, these are longer term though. These aren't the same as the ones I have on the other channel. But you always travel in these various channels. Um, and anyway, clearly we are holding this orange one as support here. So see, that's good. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary is going on. We're simply oscillating within these channels. We've come down to the bottom of the channel, and now we should go back up to the top of the channel, maybe possibly break out one of these times because, well, that white channel is a longer term channel. And it does even go back to there. But yeah, we do want to come back up here. And when we do break through this white channel, that'll be our altcoin rally. When alts? When alts, everybody asks, when we break this channel here. And that is back up around $750 billion. So that's not that far away. It's another 25% move, really. That could be coming in the next few weeks. So nothing's looking bad. Nothing is, people like, oh, this is, well, we are at a crossroads here. Anyway, before we do want to look at the bad case for Bitcoin too now. So let's get rid of these channels. We don't need those channels here for now, for this discussion. First of all, let's even get rid of these. And let's get our blue channels on, because this is what's going on. We are consolidating in an ascending triangle pattern. Now, it's been unclear what exactly is, maybe we should turn these guys on too. What exactly is the base that we know where the top of the triangle is? And it's funny, somebody commented a long time ago. I told us right back here in March that we were forming an ascending triangle right here. And they're like, oh, well, don't you need 3 contact points or whatever? I'm like, okay, dude, you have to be able to see the future. This is an ascending triangle. This is our resistance right here. And It's not formed yet, but that's what we're doing. And so now look, this is what we're doing. I mean, got to be able to see this stuff. Question is, what is the base of our triangle? Is it this blue channel group? An ascending triangle is really where you are traveling up in a channel and you meet horizontal resistance. And then what finally happens is that you do break that horizontal resistance and you see a big move up, you see a move upwards, but you're simply just continuing on in your channel, which is why I say we are about to go to the top of this blue channel. And see now it's getting higher and higher, 90,000. Where's 100,000 at? That'll be in August. In August we could be at 100,000. We just got to break this green resistance right here. But I mean, this has happened in the past. This is exactly what went on right here. And that once we did, see, actually, we attempted to break it here, but we weren't able to and fell back down. This is kind of exactly what's going on right now. And I hope we don't fall down this much. This was in August, and that was a really, really bad dumpy dump. And then when we finally did break through right here, look at that. We shot up really, really nicely. Nicely, way, way up. So you got the same thing going on here. And once we break through here, now maybe we don't break through till way over here in September. We keep going sideways in this area. I don't want to see us come down any further. But could we come down? We could come down. Back down to about 57 next week, according to these channels here, and without creating a lower low there. What did we do back here? Well, you know what? We matched it. So see back here when we did come down here, we didn't really, just came about down to about the same. Let's see if technically if we came down lower or not, because that would be important. No, not quite. We came down just about to there and not quite. You know what? So that's good. This is good that I'm going over this now, because that tells me, well, we kind of did that here. So are we done? Are we done for now? I think it's just this Mount Gox FUD that is really creating the problem here. But I do believe that we can overcome that. And I think that's what we've done here, and that we're ready to. Let's see what happened here. Well, even after we came down here, we came down here once and then twice, and then moved onwards and upwards. And this was from August 17th to October 3rd, August, 2 months. So we come down here, June 24th, July 24th, August 24th. So if we did do what we did in the past, then we probably just continue to chop along here until the end of August, the beginning of September, with this other CPI data release. in August, and then we see this bounce upwards. That's really kind of depressing, just to think that we're just going to continue sideways for 2 more months. But that's what we're looking at there. If we do what we did in the past, and I mean, who's to say that that's what we do? We've already been now in comparison. Let's see how long we've been traveling here sideways. We've been traveling here sideways since March, April, May, June, 4 months. And back here, well, wow, that was a long time. Same. March until October, sideways, really. And we had a lot of ups and downs. March until August. So it's not even as bad. Why does it seem so bad? I don't know. Well, let's look at our pink parallel channels and see if they tell a different story. Because here, you clearly have price action moving within these channels. And when we did break through here, we did continue up here, very clearly. So when we do break through here, let's turn the blue channel on for a second. See, that's a steeper. But it gets the same targets. Not really. Well, kind of. The pink channel group could get us to 100,000 by October, whereas the blue one, what is that? Alert. Up, see, we're going back down to 61. Which I expected. I expect us to come back down to the blue and pink channel before market open and retest those parallel support, those parallel channels. Yeah, so this tells me we could be around either whether you use the blue channel or the pink channel. We're looking at 125 by the end of the year, maybe even as much as if we came up here, 150. Easily. I mean, that's just simply looking at these channels here. So let's turn off the blue channel group and look at the pink channel. I was looking at had been looking at a smaller channel and thinking that this was just a deviation and that we were about to break out here. I mean, I meant triangle. And clearly that's not what's happened. And now we can see that on a daily, let's switch to a 4 hour because 4 hour looks better. other than this brief wick through here, which was just a couple 4-hour candles, if that. I don't even know how much those 4-hour candles actually did wick through there. Well, it does appear a lot of it. So yeah. So other than those 4-hour candles, we are holding this. This is the base. This is the base of our triangle right here. And we've hit the bottom of our base. So it makes sense that we would come back up this way. Actually, here we came up pretty nice. And, we'll be back up at 70,000, possibly for a breakout. Maybe as soon as CPI data released right here in just a couple weeks. Which kind of is a bummer. When's our next OFMC meeting? That's at the end. I don't have it on here for some reason. Should be on here. It's right here where my cursor is, on the 30th and 31st of July. So maybe we chop sideways along here for a little bit, travel upwards in July back up to the top of the channel, and see what happens then. Anyway, the point I'm making here is that we should be continuing up. What we've done is perfectly in line with our channels here, and now if we use this, you still get a base. I mean, the base of the channel is down here. Let's look at the worst case scenario where we could go. We could come down to the bottom of the blue channel here. Actually, we could come out the bottom of the blue channel a little bit like we did back here. And, well, that would be about a half a channel width, even more. I accidentally pressed on the ruler. So if we did come down, we dump down to here to 55, come back down. Yeah, it would be around 50,000. Now, what's interesting, it's actually the pink channels that are better at predicting this than the blue channels. So here, and it's easier to see. You have this consolidation here horizontally, this horizontal consolidation around 50,000 is a bottom. A little 50,500 is a bottom. Let's say 50,400 is a bottom. And, starting at 53,000, maybe a little bit more, 52,000. So between 51 and 53,000, 51, 52,000, let's say. You got horizontal support here. 52,000, you got horizontal support. Now over here, if we came side, well, we got that alert line right there, so we can see where that intersects this pink parallel channel right here. We also have support, diagonal support right here. You have a lot of price action within this channel, and you have the base of this channel acting as support. Additionally, you do see that the center line below that channel also acted as significant support, diagonal support here. So if you look at where these lines intersect, so we got support on this line here, where that is at 52,000 is today. So we'd have to, if we were to come down to that horizontal support, 52,000, we'd have to dump today. So this was a possibility. I don't think we're going to dump down to 52,000 today. I mean, maybe we do, but I doubt it. Um, so if we dump down, if this pink line acts as diagonal support anytime after today, then we should not hit 52,000. Alternatively, though, we do have the center line below that channel. So we could dump down all the way out here. And that is, well, all the way up until August, anytime through the month of July. So we could come down and, but I think we got pretty good support there at 52. I think we got pretty good support there at 52. Even, well, now see, the center line here is pretty good support too. So even if we did fall through 52, the first week of July. I'm wondering about the first week of July because I'm going to be on vacation. And I really don't want to have to deal with this when I'm on vacation. So, how low could we go? I don't see us going below 48. I don't see us going below the center line of that channel. Of course, we could come all the way down to the bottom of this channel, and that would be at worst case scenario 40,000. So when you hear these numbers, I mean, they are within the realms of possibility. And you do have the 200. Is this a 200 week moving average? Yeah, it's 200 week moving average. I mean, so they are within the realms of possibility in a, but I mean, look at that. That's, then we wouldn't be in our bull market anymore. I mean, I can't even say that though. We could still dump down to 52 and be in the bull market. Anything lower than that, you got to start thinking something else is going on. But like we did back in March of last year, I don't really see us falling below 56 and a half. So those are the worst case scenario things. Let's turn on the blue channel group and see if, yeah, according to the blue channel group, we could fall down to about here. But if we did fall down to 52, I really think it would be pretty soon this week. Um, but I don't see that happening. I see this bounce acting as not a dead cat, not a dead cat bounce, but actual recovery here. And but there is uncertainty in the market. So what we're just doing right now is currently testing to make sure that we do want to. Oh, look at that! So we did. Remember that alert I got? That alert said that we just came down to 61,000, and it's acted as support, and we are continuing back upwards on this 4 hour candle, which we just started. So that makes sense. And that's good. It's a good set of candles right there that we have. But you do see that people are still kind of scared. And you got some people that are just getting out of the market or, closing their over leveraged positions and stuff like that here still, just in case to cover their asses. Um, so I didn't do that. I did that back here. Um, Now let's turn on our good channel and our bad channel. What's interesting, I see like a little resistance there. Kind of. I wonder what that's about. I don't have a. Doesn't match any of my channels. Does it match this one? Oh, not really. Anyway, um, so let's go on a 5 minute chart and see what's going on. Let's get rid of this because we don't really need that there. So we already discussed this. I did expect us to come down and do this. We did it. And I thought we would come down here again before market open. And we're getting pretty close to market open. I'm an hour away. But I guess this is good. This is bullish because we already did our testing of this. I think we're moving onwards and upwards here. And I don't think we're going to come back down here. Maybe after market open, we do see something like that. And then a bounce here. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But like I said, we want to get through this green line at 62,000, was it? Yeah, 61.8. And then we're really super zoomed in here. The center line here is around 62.8. So 61.8, 62.8. You see a little bit of consolidation. And anyway, you won't really know any of this stuff unless you have a chart drawn like mine that has these channels on it, because things change rapidly, as you can see, as they've changed from here. This was all a bunch of bullshit. And our Gaussian channel is up here, as well as our all right, so I just wanted to see what stock market futures are looking like opening in the next hour. We got these guys in the green, that guy a little bit in the red. So that's looking good. So looking here at the chart on the hourly, Yeah, where we're at right now, I do think today that we're getting back up. We should break this resistance here, get back up into the should be able to get up into the back into the Gaussian channel. That's what we need to do. We should be heading back up into there, and I believe that we will do that. Um, and then how quickly we move upwards, I don't know. Can we regain, get back into the blue channel here? Uh, I just don't know. Good case scenario. We get back once we reclaim the Gaussian channel, then we shoot up through it into next week, and then we get CPI data release the following week, the second week of July, and that just takes us out of the Gaussian channel once and for all, and maybe out of our green our green resistance here. Perhaps then we break out right here. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's interesting. Our pink channel. Our pink channel and our center line of our blue channel and our resistance all kind of come together right there. I wonder if we can break through here and then act as support right there. Don't know. We'll have to discuss all that later on. Um, Here's our Gaussian channel. I do expect price action to continue back up into it. And whether we chop sideways here the rest of the month, possibly forming a monthly doji candle. Because where do we open the month? We opened the month up at 60. See, thought it was at 67, not at 66 and a half. It's about 67 and a half. Can we get up there? Can we get back up to the center line of this channel? Can we get back above the center line of the daily Gaussian channel by the end of the month? In the next week? I think quite possibly. I think quite possibly we could do that. And I think that's a good target for us. I think we continue back on up here, back where we were heading before the FUD. Before the FUD, we were heading from this bounce here back up this way. So I think we do recover here, come back up just like this, come back up here at the end of the month. And then from there, we hold this as support and continue back up through the top of the daily Gaussian channel. Probably, maybe we see a rejection here before, come back down, get good numbers, and then continue onwards and upwards, something like that. Anyway, I better go. And like, subscribe, and see you next time.